Breaking news on this edition of Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. The Baltimore Ravens have signed quarterback wide receiver hybrid Malik Cunningham off of the New England Patriots practice squad onto the Baltimore Ravens 53-man active roster. Welcome in to this edition of the program. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for joining us as we deliver this news straight from ESPN's Adam Schefter. Moments ago, a Louisville reunion in Baltimore. The Ravens are signing quarterback Malik Cunningham off of the Patriots practice squad and onto their roster. Cunningham told ESPN today Cunningham will now finish the season in Baltimore and go to the playoffs. Cunningham and Lamar Jackson were teammates in Louisville for one season in 2017. 6 years later, Cunningham and Jackson are teammates again, this time with the Ravens. So who is Malik Cunningham? In case you don't know, that's where we come in. Cunningham, undrafted this season out of Louisville, where he was a heck of a player at Louisville. We'll go over some numbers we'll show you here in just a bit, but the Patriots brought him in, and I got to tell you, he had his moments for New England in his short time there, in particular in training camp and in the preseason. If you go back to the very first preseason game, he got a little bit of playing time in the second half there. I believe it was against the Houston Texans, and really just lit it up with his ability when he showed off the wheels, not only scrambling, but also his ability to pass the football. Belichick was wanting to get him involved in the receiver role of sorts, and they had elevated him from their practice squad a few different times. It ultimately ran out of practice squad elevations. Now he comes into this Baltimore Ravens team, and we're very curious, what does this all mean? What are the Ravens going to cook up when it comes to Malik Cunningham? I got an idea. We'll explain here in just a bit. Before we do, folks, we are currently at 13,841 subscribers here on Ravens Rundown. This is why you subscribe to the channel. I told you yesterday that if we get to 14,000 subscribers this week, then we are going to do a watch party coming up this weekend when the Ravens take on the Jags on Sunday Night Football. So, sub now for the latest happenings on your favorite team. We got you covered. Subscribe now for free. You'll be glad you did here to Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. Now, here is some things you need to know when it comes to Malik Cunningham, a 4-year starter at quarterback there in Louisville. With 5 total seasons, he was on the field with the Cardinal in the ACC. Former teammate of Lamar Jackson back in 2017. Always was a big fan of Lamar's, too. There's plenty of photos out there of him wearing Lamar's jersey and supporting him. That was his guy. So a real brotherhood between those two beyond just them being teammates crossing paths for 1 year. And we mentioned his ability of what he did there with Louisville. He had 5 college seasons where he rushed for at least 480 yards. Even when he wasn't the full-time starting quarterback, he was still making an impact when it came to the rushing game. 2021 was his best season in Louisville, where he had 39 total touchdowns, nearly 40 total, with a lot on the ground and through the air both. And in that 2021 season, he had nearly 3,000 passing and over 1,000 rushing yards that year and was one of the nation's best quarterbacks. Now, as far as how the Ravens make this work, Todd Monken has done an incredible job with this Ravens offense here in 2023 since taking over as the play caller. And when you make this type of move, because I know that there's going to be some heads that are going to be scratching with the idea, why do you need 4 quarterbacks here? You don't necessarily need 4 quarterbacks. This tells me that the Ravens are going to get creative, that they have something in mind for a way to use Malik Cunningham, whether it's in a wildcat type style or whether you're lighting him up at receiver, got some trick plays in mind. You don't do this without having a purpose of sorts. And Todd Monken has done an incredible enough job with this offense as the play caller and what he's schemed up that I trust him that he's going to have something figured out of what he has in mind to put Malik Cunningham in a position to succeed for this Ravens offense. What is your one-word reaction to the Ravens signing Malik Cunningham? My one word that I would use for this is intriguing. I'm very intrigued to see what they have lined up, because you don't do this just to do this. You have something cooked up if you're going to do this type of move. Let us know what you think. Why Cunningham, you may be asking. Now, think about this, okay? As you get into the postseason, the teams that are competing for championships have something in their playbook typically that has not been revealed just yet. Or they're coming up with new concepts, new schemes that they haven't shown all season. And I think that that's what Todd Monken and company is looking at, where they say, hey, the offense has been really good, but we have more that we can come up with and get creative with. And Malik Cunningham's that guy that can get us to be able to really open up things and show that extent that we haven't shown just yet. Cunningham was all classy when he mentioned his time with New England, although it wasn't very long. He had this statement that he said to ESPN today. I want to thank Mr. Kraft and Coach Belichick for giving me the opportunity to play with the Patriots. I learned a lot from them. I want to be a coach one day, so I would take notes from Coach Belichick because he's one of the greatest of all time. I had great teammates in New England and built relationships that will last a lifetime, but I feel like this is a good opportunity for me, and I'm excited to be a Baltimore Raven. So all the right things. The guy wants to be a coach. That tells you that he's very aware when it comes to his football IQ. Very high football IQ with Malik Cunningham there. More to come here on Ravens Rundown in a moment. But first, today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You pick 2 or more players on any given category. You get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points, passing yards, pass completions, all sorts of stuff to choose from. And you can mix and match between different leagues, like I have on Prize Picks this week. Going with Lamar on the Ravens side. And then I got a little college football for you as well. Michael Penix and the Washington Huskies in the college football playoff semifinal in the Sugar Bowl, taking on the Texas Longhorns. I got Penix to have more than 312.5 passing yards. Lamar, they have more than 219.5 passing yards. Put $20 down on that, they hit. We're making $60 in Prize Picks. Play along with me. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS for a $100 deposit match. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, proud partner of Ravens Rundown. So now, taking a look at the depth chart for the Ravens quarterback situation. Lamar is your QB1, Huntley at 2, Josh Johnson at 3. Also worth noting, too, that Josh Johnson got the majority of reps at the number 2 quarterback spot in the preseason. That we heard Todd Monken was very comfortable with Josh Johnson, and there was rumblings that he was liked more so than Tyler Huntley was. So now you go really deep and have plenty of guys there. If something, God forbid, were to happen to Lamar Jackson, you have options here. The scouting report from Lance Zierlein of NFL Media had this to say about Cunningham prior to the draft. Dual-threat quarterback who was much more effective as a runner than as a passer in 2022. Cunningham's build is slighter than teams typically like at quarterback, and his accuracy is spotty. He possesses premium running talent for zone read and quarterback draws, and he can turn a lack of contain into a huge play with his legs. Teams will need to decide how Cunningham would fit into an offense, but his ability to make explosive plays with his legs should not be discounted. With the loss that the Dolphins had last night, the Ravens are back to holding the number 1 seed. They are in the driver's seat for the postseason. They're in great shape to win the AFC North. And this team is all in. They are not holding back. I really love what the Baltimore Ravens are putting on the football field, the product right now, and they're still trying to see what can we do to even get better from here. I love it. Now let's see that all put together. So this Ravens team is putting all the tools out there. Now continue what they've started, and that begins this week with this matchup against Jacksonville. How would you grade the signing of Malik Cunningham? I was surprised, but I like the move personally. It's not going to cost you a ton of money either, and potentially opens up the playbook. Why not at this point? Grade the signing for me, A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to go with an A personally because it didn't cost you too much. Weigh in. Tell me what you think in the comments section. Subscribe now to Ravens Rundown as we're talking about your team each and every day. And if we reach that milestone, 14,000 subs, we're going to be live coming up on Sunday night. We will see you then. Thanks for joining us here on the program.